From car bombings to motion pictures, that's how diverse MC culture is. Today we talk about 8 of the most famous motorcycle clubs that ever existed. The ones that made headlines, started wars, movies, ruled pop culture, and built empires the government couldn't take down. From Hollywood A-listers to mobbing hundreds deep patched up across the globe. Let's get into it.
We run the night. We run the night.
Big shout to the Ghosts and the Ghostettes. Welcome to Demons Row TV, the holy grail of MC culture, where we cover everything motorcycle and motorcycle club involved. I'm Sos the Ghost. I'm your host for the evening. Don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe. Let's get into it. Number 1, the Hells Angels. If you ask anybody about a motorcycle club, everyone knows who the Hells Angels are. But why? In the 60s, they exploded into pop culture thanks to Hunter S. Thompson's book, Hells Angels, which painted them as wild, lawless kings of the road. Then came Hollywood. They were in countless biker movies before most clubs even knew what a camera was. Their notoriety skyrocketed after the 1969 Altamont concert, where a man got his screen put to black right in front of the stage while the Angels were working security for the Rolling Stones. That incident made headlines worldwide and cemented their image as dangerous and untouchable. In the 70s and 80s, media kept the legend alive, from Geraldo Rivera specials to talk shows, true crime exposés, and their unmistakable death head patch, becoming one of the most recognized outlaw symbols on earth. They even slid into the pro wrestling world in the 90s, coming out with Hulk Hogan and NWO Wolfpack, which put them on mainstream TV in front of millions. Big personalities kept their names hot throughout the years, from Sonny Barge's books to George Christie carrying the torch at the Olympics to Chuck Zito getting into a bar fight with Jean-Claude Van Damme. The Angels had members in Sons of Anarchy and Mayans. They were featured in documentaries, famed to the point where Tucker Carlson was speaking at Sonny Barge's funeral. The Hells Angels are famous because they blurred the line between outlaw culture and pop culture, the death head becoming as iconic as the Harley-Davidson logo itself. Number 2, the Ruff Ryders. The Ruff Ryders aren't just famous because they're legendary, and they're not even a traditional motorcycle club. They consider themselves a lifestyle club, part bikes, part music, part street culture, with members in every corner of the globe. When DMX blew up in the late 90s, he didn't just tour, he brought hundreds of Ruff Ryders with him, rolling deep in every city, turning every stop into a movie. Music videos, award shows, block parties, they were everywhere. Their double R logo became a worldwide symbol. You didn't even have to own a bike to rock it. They had bikes, ATVs, cars, even dogs. Anything that screamed adrenaline and street power. Swiss Beats and Eve kept the brand hot, while their DVD series showed wild stunt riding, wheelies, and urban takeovers way before Instagram made it trendy. They blurred the line between hip-hop, street bikes, and urban hustle. You can see them in the hood, at a car show, or in a stadium. And they're not just in the US. Ruff Ryders chapters popped up across Europe, Canada, the Caribbean, even Africa, with thousands of members worldwide. They've got more bodies in their ranks than any other club in the game. From music dominance to street dominance, they built a brand so recognizable that the name Ruff Ryders doesn't even need an introduction. It's a movement, a lifestyle, and one of the most famous crews on the planet. Number 3, the Mongols MC. The Mongols MC are famous because they built a reputation as one of the most feared and relentless outlaw motorcycle clubs in the world. Founded in 1969 by Vietnam vets in Montebello, California, they rose from a small California crew to a global powerhouse, spreading chapters across the US, Europe, Australia, and beyond. And what made them legendary in the outlaw world is their willingness to go head-to-head with the Hells Angels, a rivalry so infamous it's been covered in books, documentaries, and court trials for decades. They've been at the center of some of the biggest MC news stories, from massive RICO cases to high-profile arrests to undercover infiltration operations that made headlines worldwide. The Mongols patch, that black and white image of Genghis Khan, became so infamous, the federal government literally tried to ban them from wearing it, sparking a legal battle that only made the club more famous. Even Jesse the Body Ventura, yes, the WWE Hall of Famer, movie star, and former governor of Minnesota, is a retired member, and he stood tall publicly when the government tried to strip their patch away. Pop culture kept their name alive. They've been featured in documentaries, true crime shows, and news specials, often portrayed as the ultimate outlaw enemy of the Hells Angels. Their military-style structure, tight brotherhood, and global reach made them stand out as more than just another club. They're a symbol of defiance against the rivals and the law alike. The Mongols MC are famous because they're not just in outlaw history books. They've been writing them for over 50 years. Real quick, if you enjoy MC culture content, smash the like and the subscribe button. And give me a pound wherever you're from. And get your Ghostavelli mask, shades, Demons Row snapbacks in all colors, tank tops, crew necks, track races. We got it all, and you can get it on www.demonsrow.com. Let's get back into it. Number 4, the Bandidos MC. The Bandidos MC are one of the most recognizable clubs in the world. They are one of the big 4 outlaw motorcycle clubs. They rose from a small Texas crew in 1966 to an international powerhouse. Founded by Vietnam vet Don Chambers in San Leon, Texas, they exploded across the U.S. and overseas, planting chapters in more than 20 countries. Their motto, "We are the people our parents warned us about," set the tone for the club's rebellious, hard-hitting reputation. They became infamous for their red and gold colors, for their mascot, the Fat Mexican, which is instantly recognizable from Texas to Europe to Australia. Their name made headlines in some of the most notorious bike events in history, from the deadly Waco, Texas shootout in 2015 to massive RICO cases in the U.S. to brutal wars with rival clubs overseas. The Bandidos' reach is staggering. Tens of thousands of members and supporters worldwide, often rolling deep at events, rallies, and international runs. They've been featured in documentaries, news specials, and books, cementing their place in biker culture as a global force. The Bandidos MC are famous because they turned the Texas-born brotherhood into a worldwide outlaw empire, feared by rivals, watched by law enforcement, and recognized everywhere that patch shows up. Number 5, the Outlaws MC. The Outlaws MC are one of the oldest and most feared outlaw motorcycle clubs in the world. Founded in 1935 in McCook, Illinois, decades before most rivals even existed, they built a reputation as the original 1% Club. Their black and white skull and cross pistons logo is instantly recognizable and feared from the Midwest to Europe to Australia. They're notorious for their long-standing blood feud with the Hells Angels, a war fought in bars, highways, and courtrooms for decades, with shootouts and bombings that made national headlines. Their name has been tied to some of the biggest outlaw biker cases in U.S. history, including massive RICO prosecutions and undercover operations that would later on turn into a Hollywood script. Pop culture has kept their legend alive. The recent Bike Riders movie was inspired by their early history. Country music outlaw David Allan Coe is a retired member, writing songs that carry their rebel spirit. They even cross into modern music culture, appearing in Ryan Upchurch music videos. Combine that with hundreds of chapters worldwide, a staple at Daytona Bike Week, and an unshakable brotherhood, and you got a club that commands respect and fear in equal measure. The Outlaws MC are famous because they survived nearly a century by sticking to their code, expanding their reach, and making sure their enemies and the world never forget who they are. Number 6, the Pagans MC. The Pagans MC are part of the Big 4 outlaw motorcycle clubs. They are the powerhouse of the outlaw motorcycle club world on the East Coast, built on intimidation, violence, and loyalty. Founded in 1959 in Maryland by Lou Dobkin, they started as a small riding group and grew into one of the most feared 1% clubs in the U.S., controlling territory from New York down to Florida. When you see their patch, they are instantly recognizable, and their reputation alone is enough to keep most rivals from setting up shop on their turf. They've been locked into bloody wars for years with the Hells Angels, street brawls, stabbings, and shootouts, making national headlines. Law enforcement has labeled them one of the most violent MCs in the country, and massive RICO cases have been tried and failed to take them down as an entire club. Pop culture has touched their name too, from crime documentaries to news specials about their clashes with rivals and run-ins with the feds. Their image is pure menace, no glitz, no celebrity frontmen, just a hard working class outlaw culture that thrives in the shadows. The Pagans MC are famous because they've spent over 60 years building an East Coast empire out of fear, respect, and brotherhood. They are known as the Blue Wave. Number 7, the Vagos MC. The Vagos MC are one of the most recognizable outlaw motorcycle clubs in the United States. When you see that green patch, you already know what this club is about. Founded in 1965 in San Bernardino, California, the Vagos quickly became known for their green back patch and their stronghold across the Southwest, Mexico, and even Canada. The term Vagos comes from the Spanish language, meaning traveling gypsy or a streetwise person that's always up to something. A fitting name for a club built on constant movement and street presence. Among members and supporters, they're proudly known as the Green Nation. They're known for their aggressive expansion and high-profile run-ins with the law. Over the years, the Vagos have been tied to major federal investigations, undercover stings, and violent clashes with rivals, including the Hells Angels. One of their most publicized moments came in 2011 when a shootout at a Nevada casino left the rival gone and made national headlines. The Vagos image is burned into pop culture. Their massive presence at the West Coast events has been featured in true crime shows, documentaries, and biker culture media. They're known for moving in huge organized packs that make their presence impossible to miss. The Vagos MC turned the California riding brotherhood into a fearsome green machine, a club whose name, colors, and reputation stretch far beyond the West Coast. Number 8, the Redrum MC. The Redrum MC are famous because they have become one of the largest and most visible Native American founded motorcycle clubs in the world. Founded in 2006 in New York by Cliff Mateus, international president, they expanded at a rapid speed, now with chapters across the United States, Canada, and all over the world, making their colors and patch instantly recognizable. They've been featured heavily in news reports, documentaries, and motorcycle culture media for their massive charity rides and their high-profile presence at major motorcycle events. Their work supporting Native causes, including the missing and Indigenous women movement, has put their name in front of audience far outside the biker world. Their profile went global when Hollywood A-lister Jason Momoa, one of the most recognizable actors in the world, was revealed as a member and supporter. His public appearances in a Redrum MC cut, from the Bike Riders movie review even to the ending of Aquaman 2, and his advocacy for the club's causes brought tons of mainstream attention. Redrum MC are famous because they've grown from a New York startup to an international native-powered motorcycle club with global recognition, thanks to high visibility at events, heavy media coverage, and one of Hollywood's biggest stars riding in their ranks. Now, I know some people are gonna say, why didn't you mention the Booze Fighters, or this club, or that club? This video isn't to say there aren't other famous clubs. I just compressed the list into 8. If you want me to do a part 2, I will. And thank you for tuning in to Demons Road TV, the holy grail of MC culture. Like, subscribe, and comment. And oh yeah, we ghosting, baby.
Oh.